The boy covered his ears with both hands. The next second, the dragon horns on his head fell off. Grandma searched all over the world for famous doctors, and finally invited a healer to help. She thought all the answers were hidden in the ears. As long as she observed the internal structure, the form of the insect monster would have nowhere to hide. Sure enough, when the healer saw the mucus in the villagers' ears, he understood that they had their sounds eaten by a kind of insect called wang. This kind of insect looked like a coiled snail and liked to hide in the dark. As soon as they heard the cochlea that could collect sounds, they would abandon their shells, move into human cochleas, and eat up all the sounds. The healer asked the villagers to fetch hot water, put a bag of magical edible salt into it, and finally just needed to pour the salt water into the ears. Then the wang would run out by itself, and the man also miraculously regained his former hearing. Following the healer's method, the deafness among the villagers all disappeared, but no matter how the boy tried, he could not recover. The grandmother told the healer that the boy's condition was not what people called deafness. On the contrary, he could hear every sound around him. Even on a quiet, cold night, the boy had not slept well for 3 months. The healer saw at a glance that he was parasitized by a variant of wang called a like to collect all the sounds around it. It turned out that he was not the first human to be parasitized by a. The last one was his mother. He vaguely remembered that his mother had said something at the end, but she had covered his ears. He could not hear his mother's words at that time. After that, he grew the same flesh-colored dragon horns as his mother. The healer felt confused. He also wondered why the mother had covered her child's ears when she was going to tell him the secret. But something strange happened. The little boy, who was always well-behaved, sneaked out this time. The healer did not stop him. He also wanted to see where the little boy was going. That day, the snow fell very heavily. The sounds around seemed to disappear, but the sound of life's heartbeat was so clear. The little boy hid in the cave. He heard the sound of the flame that had gone out. The healer understood the correct way to get rid of a. In an instant, all the bug-like monsters in the cave flew out. The healer was not afraid. He found a particularly big a in the air and let the bug-like monster enter his body on purpose, because he already knew the real way to drive out a. The healer told the little boy to cover his ears like his mother had done. The little boy just reached out his hands gently to cover his ears. The a in the healer's body really disappeared in a moment. Although covering ears with both hands could not completely muffle the sounds, it was afraid of the life force of other creatures. At that time, the little boy's mother might have already known the answer, but because she was dying then, she no longer had the ability to drive out a. Now the little boy finally understood what his mother had said. He heard his own heartbeat. The dragon horns on his head fell off as well. It turned out that there really was blood as hot as lava flowing in the human body. It was the power of life that made him come back to life again.